Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Q&A show. I am so excited that you found some time out of your busy day to join me here today. I'm really excited, really stoked. I have a really cool guest I'm going to be bringing on here shortly. We're going to be talking about everything digital marketing, social media. If you have any questions, you own a local business, if you're a doctor, an attorney, and you're looking to grow your business and you're looking for ways and strategies to grow that business, then you are in the right place. This is the perfect show for you guys. So again, I appreciate you all taking the time to be here. Before we get started, if anybody's on here, if you would do me a favor and hit that like button, smash that heart button, let us know that you're here. Don't be afraid of nothing's going to happen to your finger. You're not going to get shocked. Nothing's going to happen, but go ahead and like it. It just tells everybody that you're on here, and it helps us get the word out. Okay, so if you can do that for me. And also, if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the box there, and we'll see the questions and we'll ask my next guest, or I'll answer any questions that you have. And as a little gift for you guys joining me here today, at the end of the show, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving away something valued at $299. And not just one of you, but everyone that stays till the end of the show is going to be able to get this gift from me personally, okay? And it's just something that I want to do, a little bit of value for you guys for joining me here today. So don't forget, a $299 value gift that I'm going to give to you, but you got to stay till the end and watch the show, and then I'll tell you how to get that gift, okay? So again, hit that like button, hit that smash button, and share it with your friends so everybody can see it. So without further delay, my next guest is coming all the way to you from Washington, D.C., and this guy is a beast. He is a social media expert. If you haven't heard about him now, you probably will be hearing about him shortly in the next year or two. This is a young kid that's just blowing up. He is awesome at what he does. I got to know him over the last few months, and I'm just really excited to bring him on. So digital marketing expert, Mark Ghaida, everybody. Welcome him into the show. Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining me here, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited for this. So thanks, guys, and I'm excited to see what we can do today.
Oh, well, we have on here, we have a lot of people that, as far as there's a lot of real estate agents, a lot of local marketing or local business owners. You have chiropractors, doctors, lawyers. My audience is vast. A lot of entrepreneurs, people that are in insurance. So we always try to bring people on here that I think that can help my audience. And you are the perfect candidate for it, Mark. And I've been talking to you about this for a while. I've been wanting to bring you on here. And I think you can bring a lot of value to my audience. So just can you give my audience a little bit of background on you? I know you own a social media, or actually a digital marketing agency, right? That's Unfazed Media out of Washington, correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into it? How long have you been doing it? All the good stuff.
Right. So first of all, thanks for having me on, Ross. I appreciate that. Excuse me, Bob. And thanks everyone for who's listening right now. So quickly, just to go over my background. I got into this digital marketing space, since I'd say in the last 5 years. So we started our first business was what really got us into where we're at right now. And our first business was called Ghiada.com, which is basically a website very similar to Groupon. For anyone who's heard of Groupon, if you haven't, it's just basically a website where people go to find like discounts and deals in their local area for like restaurants or any type of events locally. And so, when we started this business, it's great when you first start a website, but you have to learn how to get people onto the website. And not only that, once we had people who we sold to locally, local businesses, we had to figure out how do we get people from online into their business, right? So it was a very strong digital marketing backbone that was needed for this first business. Now, long story short, what happened was, we realized that what businesses really wanted was they needed help. The reason why they pay people like Groupon or anything else similar to that is because they need help with growing and getting people from online into their business, right? So over time, we started saying, hey, our first few clients did come from that first business. And so over time, in the last 2 years now almost, we started a digital marketing agency focused around how do we get people from online into a business, right? And so now we have Unfazed Media, which is a family-run business. I run this with my sister, my father, and we have a few other people that work full-time with us. And we focus on web development, social media advertising, and we focus on SEO and everything basically related to getting people from your website or online into your business. So yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome. For those of you who don't know, Mark actually contributed to my real estate course for real estate agents. It's called the Real Estate Agent Marketing Academy. And he actually contributed a lot to the Facebook part of it. And so he's talking about websites and all this stuff he does. But these courses that he taught the modules that he taught in the course are unbelievable. So if you guys ever have a chance to go and check him out, I mean, the value that he brought to that course was unbelievable. You did a great job with that, Mark. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you. No, it was a pleasure of mine, and we really killed it in that course. I do recommend anyone checking it out.
So, like, you're talking to all these businesses, right? And we have a lot of business owners on here. And so what do you think, or what do you see as one of the biggest mistakes most local business owners are making right now with their marketing? Because, I mean, I talk to them too, but I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot of the same things, but what you're experiencing right now.
Right. So I think the biggest struggle with local businesses is they're bogged down with time. They're bogged down with people coming at them with different things. But I think the biggest challenge they have, and the thing that they could improve on the most, is, they could really, if they focused on just, focus on one platform, right? Not just every platform. They don't have to be on 50 different social media platforms, or, but if they could focus on one method of online advertising, whether it's social media ads, whether it's SEO, right? It's different industries, different, not focus at all on their marketing. And these days, content is king. If you're not online, you're not seen. And people, fortunately and unfortunately now, just only a lot of how people come into a business is from online. So having said that, it's important that these small businesses, the things they struggle with the most is they don't focus on getting people from their website, from their Facebook page, from their whatever social media platform, from Google, and they don't focus on using that and utilizing it. Because what happens is that if they focus on their strong referral base, right? Most businesses are, referral base and focused. Then if they just don't focus on creating another avenue to get more people in the door, it can really cause a lot of harm long term. So, I think that they're just not even utilizing it at all. That's the biggest struggle that I think local businesses have.
Yeah, and I think they underestimate the actual amount of time it takes, right, to be successful, and the amount of money that it takes to market, right? Because I see there's tons and tons of businesses in my area, and you could tell, right, when you meet with a business owner, when you meet with them, and you could tell. I've actually met with a few of them, and I mean, I'm not, I don't have ESP or anything, or I can't see the future, but I can usually walk out of the business saying, you know what, these guys are going to be out of business within 6 months.
Yeah,
because they underestimated all of the work it's going to take in actually getting the word out about their business, right? We're not even talking about all the operation part of it, but marketing and advertising and what it takes to get your name out there, right? Especially with like restaurants and things. They'll open up and they have a great opening, and then 3 months down the road, you see their business just take a dive, and then you start asking, what are they doing with their marketing? And they're doing absolutely nothing. They're relying on word of mouth, right? Like what you're saying, business, which is great, but you still have to add to it, right?
100%, and you just hit the nail on the head, right? The biggest thing with them is that they don't utilize it, right? Number one. Number two is they underestimate how much it'll take, and I think a lot of businesses think in this. It's funny, a lot of businesses think in this frame of mind of what can we get, what kind of results can we get from 3 to 6 months from now, right? And if an agency or somebody or the marketing initiative they do doesn't create results within a 3 to 6 month period, they drop it. And I think the biggest issue with most businesses is that they flip-flop and change strategy too much with marketing. If they just stuck on one thing for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that one thing will get them so much more business. And if that one thing was, for example, Facebook ads or branding themselves online, that's a full-time job. And I think businesses should be a media company first, and then whatever they do second, right? That's been said on a lot of times online. It's like that businesses need to be a PR or a marketing agency first, and then they have to be whatever their profession is, because that's the game these days. If you want to get more people in the door, you got to broadcast and make yourself look like that.
Right. So like, to add to that, so for real estate agents and people that are trying to create a personal brand, right? What strategies would you recommend to those types of people, right?
Right.
So contractors.
100%. So if you want to create a brand, right, if you're focused on building something that over time will allow you to get people in the door and create brand loyalty, right, the biggest thing you need to do is figure out what people are looking for. What are your dream clients, your dream customers? What do they want, right? And the easiest way to really do this is if you're in the real estate industry, just type in, top 5 frequently asked questions newly buyers or new buyers, first-time home buyers are asking, right? Or whatever your target audience is. If you are a realtor and your focus is on, move-up buyers, type in Google, top 5 frequently asked questions move-up buyers have. And then just create content. In content, I mean, create videos around each individual question people have, right? And now you're creating content based around demand. There's no guessing here. You're creating actual, pictures and videos and helpful content resources for people who in your target audience around what they want, like, and they trust, and what they find valuable. That's what I recommend doing up front. So this can look like going live like this on Facebook once a week, creating a Facebook group just for, move-up buyers, right? Mm-hmm. And you're every week going in there live, asking questions, all the questions they have, or inviting them to a seminar, right? So, and it's just basically, how do you utilize online and create your hub of people, your tribe of people who are interested in what you have to say. And it's all centric and surrounded about you giving value. That's what the core of it all is.
Right, and they need to push all that content out constantly through all social media platforms, right? I know you mentioned they should focus on one, right? They need to become very proficient in that one. So they pick Facebook, focus on Facebook, right? And once they get really proficient in that, then add another one, right? Add Instagram, and then
100%.
Build that omnipresence eventually, right?
100%, and that's the thing you can do. And specifically what I would recommend with platforms, especially if you're a realtor, that you'd want to do is you'd want to actually go ahead and you want to focus on these 2 to 3 platforms: YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. If you focus on these 2 to 3 platforms, ideally it's Facebook and YouTube, because that's where the demographic is. But now increasingly, a lot of millennials are buying homes and they're selling and stuff like that. So Instagram is where you can find them at. But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, those are very strong. And using YouTube as your main hub for video content, and then funneling people from your YouTube channel to your Facebook page or group. I highly recommend Facebook groups as a really close way to interact with people who are interested in what you have to say.
Right. Well, that's great information there. So I think people are impatient also, right? They, like you were saying, they want to come in, they want instant results. And we have to be honest with some of the clients. We have to tell them, this is going to take a little bit of time. You can see the needle move, right, within 30 to 90 days most of the time. But there is people on here, right, a lot of professionals. So if you had to give a recommendation and you had to say, what is instant for me, Mark? What can help me tomorrow? If I get up tomorrow, is there anything that they can do? Is there any strategy? What would you recommend for them? I know it's a tough question.
And just to be clear, you're saying in order for them to get results like ASAP?
They want to see something move, the needle move in the direction. What do you think? I mean, I'm setting you up because it's kind of hard, right? Because it depends on everybody's situation.
It's a great question. A lot of people have this. And so here's what I would recommend. If you have somebody to throw around, the quickest way to get results, I think, no matter what industry you're in, right, is right now Facebook ads. Right? You can use Google ads, but that's really expensive. If you have a big budget, fine, Google ads can work. But right now, what I recommend is no matter what industry you're in, unless you're targeting really, really young demographic, right? Which it's not a lot of industries do that. But if you're targeting, where people make money, which is basically the 25 and up, I highly recommend utilizing Facebook ads. And here's an exact strategy you can use today, right? You could literally use this today and do this rest of the week, and it'll actually generate revenue sales for your business. And here it is, really. And I actually wrote an article about this, which maybe you can post it up somewhere, which goes into depth and has videos on it. But basically, this is how it's going to look like. If you are, let's just say, realtor, and you want to go ahead and you want to target, for example, homeowners who are likely to move, right? Which are 2 metrics you can actually use and target on Facebook currently. And a little update: they're going to get rid of these metrics very soon. But this is just give you an example, right? Here's what I would do. I would simply take a video of yourself, your team, your brokerage, whatever, anything about you that's personalized. I'd take a video, a smartphone video, a selfie mode, right, of you. I hold it sideways and just say basically, hey, my name is whatever your name is. I'm the owner. I work at Keller Williams here in Kingstown, and I'm excited because I just wanted to share with you guys some tips, top 5 tips for people who are looking to buy their home, right? And give them solid value tips. Run 2 to 3 videos, 2 to 3 ads like this, targeting people who are homeowners, targeting people who are likely to move, those 2 metrics, and then put in the age demographic, right? Then run those ads, those 3 different ads. Here's what I want you to do next, right? I want you to create a retargeting ad. For those of you who don't know what that means, basically all it means is go back onto Facebook and make sure everyone who's watched 50% or more of those videos, I want you to then retarget them, basically send them another ad just to people. And by the way, there's a specific way on how to go ahead. And if you read my article, which I'm sure Bob will go ahead and post, you can go ahead and see the exact steps. But basically, you want to go ahead and find people who have watched 50% or more of your video, and then send them an ad saying, more direct, saying, hey, if you're interested in learning more or you need help finding your next home, looking to buy or sell, click the button below and fill out your name, email, and phone number, and I'll contact you shortly. Right? It's a more direct ad. And the reason why this works is because you're setting that you're teeing yourself up, right? You're going from a complete cold audience, you're running, these 3 videos of helpful content, helpful tips, right? And you're sending it out to people into a cold fashion, right? People you've never advertised to before. And they're seeing your face for the first time, but they keep on seeing your face again, first video, second video, third video. Now, when you go ahead and send them more direct advertisement, like, hey, click below if you need someone like me to help you find yourself.
You know what, Mark?
Week,
you kind of froze up there. Go back about 15 seconds. Rewind. Say that again.
Yeah, sure. So all I was just saying is, if you go ahead and strategy. So basically, in summary, you run 2 to 3 video advertisements targeting your demographic, right? Let's assume that you've never ran an ad before on Facebook. You're going towards cold audience, ice cold audience. They've never heard of your brand before, right? And you want to go ahead and send them 2 to 3 videos about who you are and give them valuable tips. Remember we talked about earlier today we said, hey, what's the top 5 questions people have about buying their next home or selling their next home, right? Make sure you give them those 5 valuable tips. Do first video, second video, third video. Then what's something really, really cool that I love about Facebook is you can get very specific on who you want to go ahead and get in front of. And that is, you can go ahead and choose people who've watched 50% or more of your video. Now, the reason why I want to use this is because you can go ahead and use, it's likely that people who watched half of your video or more are more interested. And then what I'll do is I'll send those people who watch 50% or more of your video another ad, which is more direct, which is going to be something like, hey, my name is Mark. I'm the owner of this company. If you need help buying or selling your home, click the button below, and you can go ahead and fill out your name, phone number, and email, and I'll go ahead and give you a call today and help you find your, buy or sell your next home. So that's a quick strategy you could use, taking a cold audience, ice cold audience, and warming them up so you can go ahead and get them in the door. That's a strategy that will work. I promise you, if you go ahead and you focus on it and you know who your audience is, that's an effective strategy they can do today to get you results.
So what would you say or recommend for ad budget on something like that?
Anywhere between 100 to 500, right? And so total spend.
Per video.
Yes. So I'd say total spend for those 4 ads should be 500, right? So you can spend total $500 on budget for that entire thing,
right?
And that should be that will be an effective strategy that you can implement for your business today, no matter what industry you're in, right?
And length of time to run each video, what do you say?
Yeah, so for each video that you go ahead and shoot, especially if they're tips, it should be 1:30 and under, right? So here's 5 tips. First tip.
Or how long do you run the video for? How many days? What's the length of the
Gotcha. So 5 days for those first 3 videos, 2 to 3 videos. And then then what you want to do is every time somebody watches 50% or more of that video, you can set up the retargeting campaign ahead of time anyways, right? And you can go ahead and, so I'd set it up that way. 5 days total for those videos.
Okay.
And you can even extend it if you want to. I've done that before. So I've done it upwards of 2 weeks.
Okay, you guys. So for those of you who are just joining us, I'm talking to Mark Ghaida. He's a digital marketing expert out of Washington, D.C. So if any of you guys have a local business, He's giving a lot of value, a lot of tips here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to chime in. If we see them, we'll answer them for you. But that's what we're talking about today. Local business, how to grow your local business using digital marketing. And like I said, if you're on here and you haven't shared it, do me a favor and share this stream for me and like it and hit that heart button. That really helps us out. And again, we're here to answer any questions that you have. Well, Mark, that's awesome information that you have there. And so let's talk a little bit about Unfazed Media. So what are you guys focused on right now? Are you, I know you're running Facebook and things like that. What's your main focus over there in Washington?
Yeah, so we do a ton of our bread and butter is social media advertising. Like I said before, we do a lot of website development as well. So your websites, mobile apps. So really, our strong things that we really focus on is web development and social media advertising. And I personally love doing Facebook advertising. Is one of my favorites. Facebook and Instagram are two of the strongest today, the strongest platforms to use, and the biggest bang for your buck in terms of advertising today.
Right. Yeah, people don't understand. Comparing Facebook to Google, Facebook is way cheaper.
Oh man, it's night and day, and it's uber competitive on Google. And here's the thing: here's a good and bad thing about advertising on social media. And I read a whole article about this, which you can also check out on my if you go to my LinkedIn, but or on my Facebook page. And it's basically
what's your Facebook page, Mark, in case somebody wants to look you up.
Yeah, you can go check out Unfazed Media on UNFAZD. There's no E between the Z and D. Unfazed Media, or you can go to my my personal page, which is just Mark Ghaida, M-A-R-K Ghaida, Ghaida, and you can find anything that I post on there. So to go over, so just basically the reason why it's so effective is because people don't know how to advertise on social media properly. They think it's just like everyone's on there ready to go ahead and buy your product, but it's not true. You have to figure out and slowly find who your audience is and build your audience. So it's positively and negatively, people don't know how to advertise on it. So yeah, I do recommend social media ads. It's huge.
And I think people get Facebook management and marketing confused completely, right? They think that if on there, these local businesses think that if they post something, that they're marketing.
Yeah.
And posting isn't doing anything, right?
No.
Right now is showing about approximately 5% of whoever's on there, that post, right? It's about 5%.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky, 2 to 5% of people will actually see it.
So for all of you business owners out there, or anybody using a business Facebook page, if you guys are posting and you think that you're doing anything, you're not. Okay? Nope. The only thing you're doing is you're showing that you're active, right? So if somebody does stumble upon your Facebook page, they can see that at least you guys are active. And so I would always recommend to still post. But if you're really trying to reach a broad audience, you're going to have to spend some money and boost those ads. Correct, Mark?
Yeah, you would definitely. And to be clear about boosting and what Bob and I are talking about, it's not that boost button, but we're referring to is a platform that you can actually use to help you get very specific on who you want. And that's called business.facebook.com, Business Manager.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We say boost, but if you guys are using that boost button in the front to advertise, you're wasting your money. Right,
100%.
You're wasting your money to get to that ads manager in the back, and a lot of people don't even know about it. Yeah,
I hate to give myself another shout out, but I also wrote an article on that. I'm writing a lot of articles, guys, so definitely keep up with the ones that I'm posting. If you go on my website on Phase Media, you can go to my blog section and see those. But yeah, 100%. We're just hitting all the topics.
So what trends do you see right now coming down the road? I mean, what do you predict? If you had to make a prediction, what do you think Facebook or digital marketing in general, where do you think it's headed right now, especially for the local business owner?
Yeah, so here's a thing with most businesses have to understand. That it's going to get even more saturated and get more competitive and get more expensive over time. And so the best time to start is today and become an expert in that for your business, because the sooner you can build an audience, build a platform of people, the sooner you can do that, the better for your business, the easier you can sell online, right? Just like how the first people who started YouTube channels have millions of subscribers and they have big media deals and they have a lot of exposure. Same thing that you can do if you just hop on the platforms now. So one of the things that you should keep an eye out for is that it's going to get even more expensive to advertise, because big companies are finally getting savvy, saying, hey, people are using these platforms a lot, so we should probably start advertising on them. So you're talking about Coca-Cola, these big billion-dollar brands are finally starting to do it. And so now you're gonna have to compete with those local businesses, and that's a struggle, right? Local businesses don't have the budget to throw around, thousands of bucks, millions of dollars a month on advertising. Those big guys do. Now, here's where I also see a trend going. People are really interested in the quick, active chat type of medium. So people like to be like 24/7 live interaction with a brand. And I see the chat bots, or for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you go on Facebook and you go to Messenger, right, the chat basically option for Facebook, they actually make that into a separate marketing platform. You can actually automate an entire conversation with a potential customer or client who comes into your page, and you can start conversation with them. And it can be all automated, and they use AI technology, and it's going to get even more advanced over time. So I definitely see a shift in AI being going hand in hand with social media, and it's going to be even big. But we're a few years out before it's mainstream.
Yeah, and right now there is a lot of tools out in the marketplace that allow you to integrate that into your Facebook page, and they're called bots. Is really what they are. And I'm sure you've interacted with them. You probably may not have even known it. You probably thought you were talking to somebody on Messenger, and you were talking to a bot. Yeah. Right.
It's pretty incredible, And these days, I don't know if you guys have heard these automated phone calls. They sound super realistic. I don't know if anyone's interacted with them, but it's becoming overall a huge it's a huge trend these days. Is the automated whatever it is,
Right. And I know you're really focused on the social media stuff, but you guys do have a big background, or actually a big a website department in your company. So with websites, let's just touch a little bit on websites, because I do hear this too sometimes from business owners, or that people don't really see the value in websites anymore. They really think they're just pushing everything to social media, and you can just start looking them up, and you're like, these guys don't have a Facebook page, or if they do, it's antiquated, right? It's not mobile optimized. Yeah. You can't see it on the phone correctly. Talk a little bit about that, because I think people really have forgotten about the website and how important their website is for their business. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. 100%. And it's the first interaction you have with your potential customers, right? If your customers are going to your web page first, it's their first experience with your brand. And that's a huge thing, right? And the first impression, you can't have a second chance to make a first impression by any means. The first thing I'd say about it is people get stuck on this thing between it's either social media or SEO or website. And honestly, it works hand in hand. And the reason why I'm mentioning this right now is because when you're going ahead and utilizing you're considering the entire kind of the whole scope of your branding online, your online marketing. Yeah, ideally you want traffic coming in when people search for something similar to you. Let's say if you're a plumber, why is my sink clogged? And you're located next to like 500, 200 plumbing companies. You want the ones who are closest to you to come up and say, hey, here's some information, and you want their website to rank. So I guess what I'm saying is if you are someone if you own a business locally and you're interested in you're saying your website's dead, consider this. People are searching for your services locally, and when they click on your page and they're interested in what you have to offer, if your website is not optimized, it's not created in a way that basically has them focus on clicking that call button or filling out a form, then you're losing a lot of customers, a lot of flow. You're losing a lot of revenue for your business. And a simple tweak on a website can go from $10,000 to $75,000 a month in revenue. And it might sound extreme, but this has shown the case in many different situations. So websites are not dead. Social media is not dead. Email is not even dead, right? It's a matter of how do you utilize it, and it's all part of the bigger web, the bigger plan for your online marketing. It's a little piece of the puzzle, but they all go hand in hand.
And really what you're saying is it's not just one thing, right? So you've got social media, you have your website, you have your email. Right. So getting back to your website, even though what most people do is they use their website like a brochure, right? So they have all this information on there. There's really no call to action to capture that email address or to give something of value, right? So here's a statistic that because in my agency, we do a lot of retargeting, ad retargeting.
Right.
And what I see is, this holds up nationwide, but 94% of everyone that visits your website, it's 94 or 96%, they're not going to call you and they're not going to click anything. Right? And whose fault is that? That's the fault of the person, the webmaster, the local business owner, because they haven't taken the time to either update their website or come up with something that's intriguing enough for them to give you their email address, right? Because the whole point is for you to capture some information so that you can retarget, remarket to these people. And so big component is retargeting and ad displays. I think that's another piece of that puzzle you were talking about that people just completely forget about. And last year, right, this is hard to believe, but last year, ad displays passed television by like $2 billion.
It's insane.
So people are spending, last year, I think businesses spent $36 billion on ad displays the last year. So imagine that, you guys. I mean, it's
a new world, right? It's a totally new world that we're living in. And it's only going to get even more centric around, mobile, around the experience, around what's, around our phone, essentially, right? And if you guys don't go ahead and jump on as soon as possible, it's going to leave you behind, right? Adapt or die. And this is the age where things are starting to really transform in terms of how people consume media, right? It's a very important thing to understand how human behavior changes over time, because if you can understand and master that, you'll know that, hey, if people are using different ways to go ahead and interact and communicate, we should probably follow along that trend because we can only benefit from that. The sooner you get into it, the sooner you utilize it, you take advantage of that system and that process, you're going to be much, much happier and produce a lot more revenue for the business if you consider that. So 110%. And a really simple tool that you can use right now for your website specifically is a tool called Crazy Egg by Neil Patel. And Crazy Egg is basically a tool that you can go to and use, and it'll literally show you, this is the coolest thing about it, it'll show you a heat map about your website, a heat map showing where most people go to on your website. It'll show you heavy area people going on, clicking on your blog and going to certain article. It'll literally show you how hot the temperature looks, and it'll show you different parts. So here's how you can use and benefit from this. If you know that people are significantly going down to your About Us section and reading that, here's a simple thing you can do. Add a little pop-up that says, hey, enter your email for a free article on whatever. If you're a plumbing company, 5 things you need to know in 2018, right? Let's just say it's June 2018 news update for plumbing advice, right? And just put in a thing there, because now you know where most people are on your website, and you're going to go ahead and simply put in an advertisement to put their email address in exchange to give them value, and you'll see a much higher conversion and people opting in and giving them your information to them.
And talking about websites, what I also see, Mark, is you have these companies, right, that specialize in templated websites for attorneys, templated websites for chiropractors, right? And so everything that you just said right now, these people don't do for you, right? Mm-hmm. They sell you this templated website. It doesn't rank in Google as well, right? There's ranking lower with templated websites. And I think people really need to, our business owners or real estate agents need to make that investment and buy their own platform, buy their own website. Would you agree?
Right. 110%. Amen. I agree with you. It's a thing that you have to understand for your business. If you want to go ahead and be generic and not rank, then feel free to go to a big company that's going to give you a cookie cutter website. If you want something done really well, you have to work hand in hand close with somebody who's going to maybe charge you a little bit more, but it's going to give you what you need. And at the end of that, you're going to realize is, hey, pay more for a good quality work up front, because what's going to happen is your website, your thing that you're trying to get paid for, will actually optimize and give you much more money back in terms of investment. So return on investment. So I agree with you.
Yeah. And so for those of you who are joining us here, I'm talking to Mark Ghaida from Washington, D.C. He is the owner of Unfazed Media. He's a digital marketing expert. And so what we're doing here today is we're just trying to deliver value to my audience. We're talking about local business, how to increase business. What can you do? Social media, websites, anything digital. We're here to answer your questions. So if anybody has a question, please put it in there. If not, hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to do that. Mark, anything else that you think that's missing in the marketplace right now? Is there anything that you want to share with the audience that you think can help them?
With online, it's really important with your business in general. If you want to go ahead and succeed in today's world, and you really, really want to blow it out of the water, if you really care about your business and you want it to go ahead and expand it as much as possible, the quickest way that you can do and not compete with anybody in your local area, right? If you're a local business, if you just do not want to compete, the quickest way and the fastest way to do that is to create a personal brand. Mm-hmm. It's underestimated, because this is why. If people are buying you, nobody can compete you. Nobody can outbeat you doing that. Mm-hmm. And so if in today's world there's only one of you. There's only one of you, exactly. If you really want a surefire way of improving your business, you got to make sure that you work really hard in growing that brand to make sure everyone knows it, because they'll buy and end up buying you.
So, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, that's an awesome tip. So what should they do immediately? I mean, what can
Tactics,
they do?
Right.
Brand, what should they do? I know I can see people's wheels spinning. Like, what do you want me to do, Mark? How do I do my brand?
So here's the very first thing that I recommend doing. The easiest way and the quickest way to get and leverage your celebrity, to leverage your brand, is have experts vouch for you, right? Mm-hmm. So here's a simple way. Have an influencer. We call this influencer marketing, but all that means is somebody who has a big audience, a big following, who's respected and who has authority in a particular industry that you're trying to get in front of, right? If they go ahead and tell people that you're trying to get in front of that you're amazing, they'll go ahead and start following you. Now, how do you do this? You have to, if you are a business that's, first of all, reputable and you deliver on great quality, the simple way to do this is start to connect with people who are authorities in your industry. So how does this look? If you're a huge plumber and you want to go ahead and get in front of more other people, you can simply go ahead and, everyone needs a plumber these days. So here's what you can do. In this scenario, you can go ahead and find someone who's influential in general, right? So a politician, a business owner locally that people know, is a well-known chef, or a well-known someone who's either in your industry that's a great complementary to you, or someone who is either in your exact industry. So here's some examples. I've seen people who are they own an e-commerce site where they sell clothes, apparel, bags, accessories for women, and they have big fashion models talk about their brand. Now, easier said than done, right? The quickest way you can do this for your brand, right, is to find someone who is getting in front of the demographic that you're trying to get in front of. So here's a quick tip. Instagram's great for this. Instagram influencers. You can simply take your phone. If you open up the app Instagram, what you can do is, I want you to go ahead and go to the search bar on your Instagram. I want you to go ahead into the search bar and click that, and I want you to type in whatever your industry is. If it's plumbing, type in plumbing, #plumbing, and see what will happen when you click on the top, the hashtag plumbing. It'll populate at the very top of the screen. It'll show you the 9 most rated, highest rated, most engaged with posts, right? And it'll show you everyone who has the most following. That's a quick way to find people who have a lot of influence in the space. Another way, YouTube, right? Plumbing on YouTube, and type in and see which one has the most influence in that industry, and in reaching out to them individually and saying, hey, I love your work, I love your content. I would be interested in connecting, or how much do you pay to do a sponsored post? So in the marketing world, this is very common. For those of you who have not heard of this may seem a little weird or unusual, but I urge you to consider reaching out to people who are influential to your demographic, and then either offering them money to go ahead and do a post. And there's actually a great tool, I believe it's called, if you Google search, influencer marketing rates. If you Google that, you'll find a bunch of sites that will show you what's an average rate per industry.
Yeah, and you know what? You froze up in there. Did you have a name? Did you say a name of a company?
Oh, yeah. So I was saying is if you type in influencer marketing rates on Google, then it'll populate some different sites that you can go ahead and use. Influencer is one of them. But yeah, if you just do that, you can go ahead and click that, and it'll give you industry standards for posts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, Mark. Do you have any, before I let you go, do you have any big projects or anything that's coming up here soon that you want to share with the audience? Oh, and also how to get a hold of you. So if there's anybody that wants to talk to you and connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, go to my YouTube channel, Mark Ghaida, the same way, it's spelled everywhere else, Mark Ghaida, MarkGhaida on YouTube. I have about 2,300 subscribers, and I'm constantly uploading videos on there, as well as on LinkedIn, same thing, Mark Ghaida. and you can find my LinkedIn's that I publish every single week. I'm trying to publish, 3 to 5 articles a week and 3 to 5 videos a week as well. So YouTube and LinkedIn. And you can also go ahead and find me on Facebook at Mark Ghiada as well. And feel free to add me or like my page. So that's the best place to find me, to be honest. Yep.
So you're pushing out a lot of content right now.
Content is king, man. Content is. I'm practicing my own. I'm taking my own medicine.
You're eating your own dog food, as they say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'll be seeing you up in Washington here next month in a couple of weeks.
I'm excited for it, and we're going to be doing a digital marketing mastermind there, in Washington. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it.
A big mastermind with some of the top marketers, right, Mark? I mean, I think these guys are awesome. We're in the presence of some great guys there and some great talent, some gals too. We meet every quarter, and we'll be going up there to Washington. I think July 17th, huh?
July 17th, and next up we got Disney World.
In November.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what a mastermind is, it's a group of business leaders, or right, for us, it's digital agency owners that meet in a war room or a conference room, and we just hash out things for 2 days. So it's pretty interesting.
I highly recommend any business owner do it.
Yeah, masterminding, it's huge. Well, I appreciate your time, Mark. Thanks for joining me here. Before I let Mark go, for those of you who stayed here till the end, and I appreciate it. Remember, I told you I was going to give everybody a $299 value gift, and this is for everyone here. My graphic design team will design a $299 cover page for your Facebook page. We were talking about Facebook, right? So if you guys want a professionally designed Facebook page with a call to action, your logo, whatever you want on it, we'll do it for you. All you have to do is go to successrocket.repcovers.com. And I'll put it in here in the post after the broadcast. But again, it's successrocket.repcovers.com. Just fill out the information. One of my designers will call you in the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll design a customized Facebook page for you guys, for your business, just to help you guys out. So again, Mark, awesome. I appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing with my community. I can't wait to see you up in Washington. This was a great interview, and I hope I'm sure everybody got a lot of value from it. So
I hope so.
My friend, thank you for joining me. And you guys, thank you for joining the Q&A page or the Q&A show. We have another big show coming up here next week. I'll make the announcement of who that's going to be. And until then, I want you guys to keep hitting it hard, keep pounding that pavement, because you'll make it one day with your business. And we're here to help you. Thanks again. Thanks again, Mark.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.